Here we go. This is a number one way to drive police nuts. Also, you want to keep security. Now, when you get one of these things, don't get a cheap one. Well, I mean, you can see the thickness of this steel. I'm trying to do this one-handed here, so let me swap hands. This is heavy steel all the way around. Ouch! And you can see this one here can be opened with either a credit card or a number. I'm not going to show you the number. There's another safe I used when I was driving a truck. Alright, now it's closed. The object with one of these type safe is they're heavy. This safe here probably weighs 20 pounds, almost 15. But each of these bolt holes right here will be bolted through the firewall right here. And then on the other side of this, underneath the vehicle, we're going to tack weld the bolts to the firewall. So there's no way that somebody's going to come in here with a cheapo pry bar and pry this out. And anyhow, you can see most vehicles are like this. I mean, it's like you got these locking things, but come on. Anybody with a screwdriver can get into that. This is the one I used to carry in the truck with me when I was driving over the road. And I had stickers on it. I had stickers on this thing where it was mounted. And I placed signs on it saying data recorder. And I had a sticker made that says driver does not have combination to this safe. So what you could do, I mean, this is one of those ones where you just pop it open there, and you can just shove your thing in it. You know, keep it open, and you could keep your firearm, whatever, in it. And if you ever got pulled over or for inspection, all you had to do is reach up into the overhead compartment and do that right there. And, of course, if there's no probable cause, they're not going to open up a safe. You could, some companies even have safes in their trucks for transporting documents between the centers, and drivers don't have the key to it, so it would be like a document safe. You know, if confidential materials wanted to be transferred from one terminal to another, you know, the terminal manager would just put the documents in the safe, and then when the truck got to the other terminal, the manager of that terminal had the combination of the safe, and he would get the documents out. It was a secure method. So, when these are in the trucks, it's nothing unusual to see a document safe that the driver doesn't have a combination to. But anyway, back to in your vehicle, there are certain places, like if you have to go into a school and, you got to drop your kids off and you can't carry your firearm into the school, or you have to go to a courthouse or something, if you leave a firearm in a truck, they can easily, time is of essence. It wouldn't take but maybe a half a minute, just a few seconds to pop this thing open with a pry bar or screwdriver. You are not going to prop this open real fast. You would have to take a considerable amount of time to break into this thing. And of course, I hear people say, well, they just steal the whole vehicle. Well, everything takes time. And, cheap vehicles, let's say this vehicle here, there is a hidden switch in here. It's actually a safety switch that went bad that prevents the vehicle from starting unless it's in a certain position. Well, anyway, I fixed it because that safety switch went bad. I just hooked in a toggle switch. Now I know where the toggle switch is, but if I get out of the vehicle and I want to engage that, a general thief just jumping in the truck will not be able to start the truck unless he knows where that switch is. He could hotwire it all he wants to. Unless he finds out where I put that switch, he can't steal the truck because he's going to waste time looking for it. Just like the safe. Once this is bolted in and everything to that firewall, it would take considerable effort, time, and of course the thief is going to make a bunch of noise trying to get in it. Now here's the fun part. You get pulled over by the police. Police are generally nosy people. And they're going to ask, what's in here? First thing they're going to do is ask what's in there. And then you're going to tell them and say, am I under arrest or am I free to go? And they're going to threaten you with bringing the dogs out. So, if you're a drug dealer, believe me, this is not odor proof. If the dogs alert on your safe, they will have probable cause to bring a fire department out here with a cutting tool or jaws of life, and that will pry it open. But if you're like me and want to be a smartass and just tell the cop, there's naked pictures of me laying out in the field in that safe, and I don't want you to see it. Well, cops give you 99 reasons. Well, if you ain't got nothing to hide, you need to let me in it. That safe right there can cause more aggravation to a police officer, just even if it's empty, even if you ain't got nothing in it. Tell the cop you ain't gonna let them see in it. That will aggravate a cop worse than anything, is to tell them they can't see. No, I'm not letting you in it. They'd have to go through all the getting search warrants and all like that to open a security box. There's nothing in there that can be seen, so a security box in your vehicle could be I'd say it's a number one tool, because it for a thief it makes things more difficult. Now I'm not saying to keep all your family heirlooms in the safe, but for stuff that like a firearm that you wouldn't want to fall into the wrong hands and stuff like that, a good quality one of these. I mean, Fort Knox makes one that's really heavy duty. But this is basically a really nice safe. Let me go ahead and open it up, and I'll show you some of the stuff on it there. I'm not going to show you my combination here. Anyway, that's some heavy steel. It's heavy all the way around. So, you can keep your little airsoft pistol in there and whatnot. And if you have to go in the courthouse or you have to go into the school, it's got heavy. These are not little bitty bolts. So, like I say, you are not going to get into this with a screwdriver. You're going to have some special tools if you want to try to break into one of these. And you got to remember, it's bolted with like 3/8" bolts that are welded to the firewall of the vehicle. There's 4 bolts. So you're not just going to pop the whole safe out. It's just not going to happen. If I had a van or something like that, I would probably hide this, but the big reason for having it like this in this configuration is I can leave that thing open. I can literally leave that thing open, and everything is an easy access right there. Everything is very easy access, so all I have to do is when I go into a building or something, or if I'm going to leave the vehicle, all I got to do is shut it and hit the little button to lock it, and it's locked. And while I'm riding down the road, it's open. So if I need access, poof, there's my stuff. That's why I kind of like the way I got this one set up. Now, if I was driving the truck again, this would be in the overhead compartment. Most drivers know what that is. in the overhead, right above the driver's seat. So all you have to do to open one of these is push these buttons in a certain sequence, and the door pops open. And you, just like that one, you can leave the door open until you get pulled over or have to go in the truck stop, and then you just simply shut it. Let me go here and get the combination there, and it just pops right on open. So leave stuff in there if you got to go in someplace. I mean, this is not as good as that one, but it is a heavy steel. It's not something that you're going to easily pry open with a screwdriver in a short amount of time. It bolts down to a plate, so it's okay. This is more of an out of sight thing, and like I say, as long as everything you got in it's legal, don't worry about it. Just just say no, you can't search my stuff. But this one here is better in the way that it just, you don't, whoops. Go here, do. Anyhow, that's that. Let me go ahead and see, is there anything else here? But that's it. Nice little safe. This does have a auxiliary key, and these have keys too, so if the power was to go out, you can still get in it. So that's my little presentation on vehicle security. I'm sure I'll get a bunch of comments saying, well, you can do this, you can do that, but that's what the comment section is for, so people can add their comments. Talk to y'all later.